Hi, I'm Dave Barnes.
And I'm John McLaughlin.
And welcome to Dadville.
Dadville is a podcast where we talk about life, love, and the pursuit of awesome dadding.
It's funny thoughts and deep talks.
So please, enjoy your time here in Dadville and enjoy this episode with
Patrick McEnroe and Melissa Errico.
John.
Dave,
Stop mowing for just 1 second.
Okay.
Have you been on quince.com lately?
I'm literally on it right now.
By the way, your mower is so quiet. It's
I know.
electric mower. Have you seen the men's summer edit section?
It's amazing.
Gosh.
Okay, listen to this. If I'm just completely honest,
Okay.
and don't tell anyone.
Okay, shh.
But I bought like 6 things from there in the past month.
You're out of control.
I know it. Like the European linen relaxed shirt. I feel so relaxed and so European and so linen.
Well, John,
I got
you
3
just
of them.
got back from Europe. No
I
wonder you
did.
had those. Me personally, I've not been to Europe, so I just got the American. I'm liking the soft stretch crew neck, and that's just an American look.
That's so patriotic.
Yeah.
Look, Quince has closet staples
Wow.
that you'll want to reach for over and over.
Yeah.
And dare I say over. Right? Like cozy cashmere and cotton sweaters from just $50.
No,
You're going to think that's a
no.
typo, but it's not.
Oh, and comfortable lightweight pants that somehow work for both weekend hangs and dressed up dinners.
Oh my gosh. And the best
you
part?
can do anything on just the drop of a
Anything. Your legs are going to feel so light.
Gosh, they always do, John.
Dave, the best part, we haven't even said it yet.
We're having the best part yet.
Everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands.
Yep.
Right? Quince gives you luxury pieces without the markup by working directly with top artisans and only working with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices.
Somehow they're making money, John, because this feels
I don't know
like
how they're doing
this
it.
feels like a going out of business, but it's not.
Right?
It's going into business. Keep it classic and cool with long-lasting staples from Quince. Go to quince.com/dadville for free shipping on your order and 365-day return.
That's insane. That's QUINCE.com/dadville to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dadville. Well, first off, thank you so much for doing this. We're really excited to talk to you guys.
All good. No, we're happy to be with you guys. And,
Lucky to be like.
thank you for
something
having
like
us.
on.
Yeah,
Where do we find you guys today?
we're at home in New York. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
New York.
We live just outside the city. Yeah.
Here's what we do to start Dadville every time. Is
Usually.
we start what we call brag. Yeah, we usually, when couples aren't just yelling at each other about microphones and cameras, is we start what's called the brag sheet. And there's 2 of y'all, which means I told John, I genuinely mean this. I think these are the longest brag sheets we've ever seen. Like, what you guys are doing and have done is insanity. Okay, so here's the thing. So I'm gonna do a little bit about each of y'all, but I'm telling y'all, this is so much stuff. It's
Don't worry about it.
incredible. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna jump in and see how this goes. So Melissa, this is the brag sheet. So Manhattan, born in Manhattan, which I always think is like a unicorn. I feel like I know Sophie. It's like Nashville. I mean, nothing, it's very different, but it's so hard finding people from here, I feel like sometimes. Graduated from Yale with a BA in art history and philosophy. Alumna of the British American Drama Academy's 1991 Midsummer in Oxford program. This is super cool. Served in the National Endowment for the Arts. Tony Award nominated Broadway actress, singer, and author. I love this quote so much. New York Times stated that any chance to hear Melissa Errico sing. Is it Errico?
It depends if you're Italian, you would say Enrico, but I hate that quote. I actually hate that
Enrico.
quote from the New York Times. It says, any chance to hear Melissa Errico sing is a chance worth taking, right?
Huh.
I think that we should
Yeah.
get rid of that quote as part of my something.
I'm
Because for
nuking it
me,
right now.
Why do you hate that quote?
because I have an Italian response to that, which is that they're basically saying, like, if you have a chance to see her sing,
As opposed to you need to go hear her sing.
Yeah. If it
love
happens
that
to
so
fall
much.
within your
sounds like there's a
day.
dearth of chances,
Oh, I see.
A wow, a
To me, it
dearth
sort
of
of sounds
chances.
like you might, catch her if you, once in a while, like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
ever has a show. It makes me feel like a little pauper or something. I hate that. I mean,
Dave and I always joke about how the artist brain can turn any compliment into a slam. Where you're like, oh my gosh, your voice sounded great tonight. And it's like, okay, so my piano playing was terrible.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys,
lyrics.
you guys
so much
understand.
melody,
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
Okay, starred in numerous Broadway productions, more than I can
Yeah.
name, a billion of them.
Yeah.
Received a Tony Award for Best Leading Actress in a Musical. I mean, guys, this is great. Selected by Stephen Sondheim, which to me, what an honor to star as Dot in Sunday in the Park with George at the Kennedy Center, earning a Helen Hayes Award nomination. Look at who's that? Look at that lady. Look at that lady with the makeup on again. So
Sometime
impressive.
in the city.
It's a vinyl.
That's the real. That's the vinyl. That's the real deal.
Available
That's
now.
what we sell these days.
Pause
That's
the
what we sell
podcast
these
and
days.
buy it right now.
So, okay, this is what's crazy about this too, and it's the same. I feel like both of you guys are like this. You both do so many things. So not have you done that, but you've also been in all these movies and films, like starting the CBS show Central Park West, had recurring roles in all these films, was in movies. I mean, accomplished.
No, it's not really that, prismatic, all the different things I've done. It's really, I was a singing actress, but it was very normal and natural, starting in the sort of late 90s and so on, to do Broadway and then get asked to be on TV. And I did Darren Star's. Yeah, it was very
Really?
it is common. A lot of people who well, like Mandy Patinkin. He's one of the great
Yeah.
Sondheim actors of all time.
Yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker,
Yeah.
she was a Broadway singer.
Matthew Broderick,
Wow.
her husband.
There,
Yeah, that's
there's
right.
a fluidity
Yeah,
between the fields, and I, like everybody else, I had a lot of luck. Those of us who had a lot of luck, I had luck, and then I got cast in some things in LA. I was Angelina Jolie's best friend in a film, and I loved her. And I
Yeah.
did
Mhm.
television with Darren Star right before he did Sex in the City, one of his big TV shows
Wow.
with Raquel Welch and
That's what he just mentioned. Central
oh,
Park
sorry.
West.
Yeah. So I, these fun, wonderful things. But when we had a family and I was in my mid-30s, I sort of took everything that I learned, whether it was Broadway, film, stories I had. I got invited to write essays for the New York Times. Just
Oh, it's
I
amazing.
started
This
to
is
do
another
while I
thing.
had
This is
little
what I'm saying.
kids. So I was writing for magazines, writing for the New York Times, and then I took that kind of brainy, write your own stories thing, and I started making my own concerts. And now I'm sort of my own one-woman musical, like the word entrepreneur.
Mhm.
There's this wonderful word I love, the solopreneur.
Ooh,
And I do one. I'm a
Mhm.
business now.
that sounds like a really good wine.
I'm a solopreneur. I've been doing this for like 10 years, traveled all over the country,
Yeah.
Vegas. I've played Vegas,
that's
like big
great.
nightclubs in Vegas,
Yeah.
big jazz venues. I get standing ovations in Vegas. I think, what is happening
We
here?
got to get you to Nashville. You got to go to Nashville.
Come to Nashville.
Yeah.
I know it.
Come on, guys, make it happen.
Come
Just make
on.
it happen,
Yeah.
or I'm going to cut it off.
I'm gonna make a call right after
Oh,
this,
there's
and
going to be
it'll
a
be
nightclub
We'll
there.
make some calls. We'll
Jimmy.
have an
Oh, yeah.
offer before your HVAC guys
Yeah.
even
Exactly.
left your
Broadway
house.
friendly
Hopefully he's fixing my
AC.
AC. Although what?
Shush.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a big deal.
Oh my gosh, an
Well,
offer
the AC
hotter
man
than
is
your
here. You
HVAC
should be talking to the AC man.
No. Edith has got it. It's okay.
All right.
Don't worry.
Edith, sweet Edith. Okay, then listen. Now we're over to the other half, Patrick.
Yeah, well, guys, we haven't even started
Jeez,
the
guys,
interview
okay,
yet. We're
I'm
just
flying
going
through this.
The
Here we go.
beginning
Here-
of the beginning, and
Yeah.
then
And then there's the
end.
middle, and there's the end of the end.
Sandwich is all about.
Oh, there's so many sound bites already. Okay. Graduated from Stanford, 3-time All-American, 2-time NCAA team champion there, which is amazing. Junior highlights include semifinals at Wimbledon and U.S. boys singles and the French
go.
junior doubles title. Turned pro in 88, was pro for 10 years, excelled in doubles, 16 titles, including the
Only 10
1989
years that you
French
were a
Open.
pro?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, let's don't do that now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
And then I love this, the 1992 Paris indoor title with your brother, John. Named the 38th. This is such a cool. I love this stuff so much. 38th U.S. Davis Club captain in 2000. Led the team to its first title since 1995 and 2007. Longest serving Davis
Captain in history.
Cup captain. In history.
History.
Amazing, all time. Coached the U.S. men's tennis team at the 2004 Athens Olympics. Became president of the International Tennis Hall of Fame in 23. Also is a tennis commentator for ESPN. Worked with CBS Sports for a while and is working with CNN. And maybe the greatest thing he ever done is he married Melissa Errico.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you got
See what I
that.
did there? Do you see what I did there, guys?
You know what we met when we were little kids. You know that, right?
Okay, so this is okay. So this watch
The
what you did.
light died.
The light went off, so we're
So
good.
from here on,
Yes, it wasn't
Well,
showing.
let me. Can I
That's okay.
clarify that when you when you say the light died, you don't mean the emotional light.
They do not
You're
mean
showing us a
their
physical
marriage.
light.
It's an app.
Yeah. I just love that right before that. We got married, but guys, the light died. And I was like, oh man, if you're not watching it, that's
No,
a very
no.
hard left-hand turn, which we're here for. But I wanted to say, so I wanted to preface this. When we have couples on, we sort of have like the prepared couples questions because we just found that this is what keeps everything on track. Before we do that, John is going to
Oh, the light's back on.
the
light's
lights
back
are on. Oh, look, just like
in every
way.
The light is
In every
strong.
way,
the
the
plug.
lights are back on. But John is going to kick us off with a special edition of how we're going to start this podcast because
We
it's the
haven't
two of
started
you.
yet.
Yeah.
We're not recording. This is all just we're
How
seeing
great
how
is
it
that?
goes. It's a sort of a blind date.
This is a particularly special start because before we get to how you guys met and all that kind of stuff and being parents and et cetera, we are so excited to talk to you guys because Melissa, you are a musician, an accomplished singer. Dave and I are both professional musicians. We do this podcast on this side. Patrick, you are an amazing tennis player, as we just laid out. I'm a massive, massive tennis fan. Dave grew up playing tennis.
Nice.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start like a little timer so that we don't spend the entire time talking about
Selfishly
nerdy
asking.
music questions or nerdy tennis questions, but we have them in droves here. So we're going to start a quote unquote timer and we're going to try to, be quick about this. I'll kick us off here.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
You're such nice people, I have to say, by the way.
It's part of our
thank you.
prison deal to be out.
It's a work release.
It's a
thing.
work release thing.
Okay, Melissa, let's start with you. As I said, Dave and I were both professional musicians, and I emphasize musician, not so much professional, but it is what we've done professionally for the last 20
It
years.
is what we do for work.
I love musicians. That's my whole thing.
We'll just give us time.
When we
Let me
were
change.
when we were prepping, Dave and I beforehand, I was like, Melissa is like the type of singer where, like, if Dave and I were speaking to people, just the two of us, we could say, yeah, we're singers. Then as soon as Melissa walks in the room, we need to kind of preface it a little bit, like, well, Melissa's a singer.
All caps,
singer.
all
Dave
caps.
and I are singer-songwriters. You are a legitimate singer. Like, I'm
Vocalist.
singing my own songs that I've written. Dave sings his songs that he's written. You are someone who is like acrobatic in your singing ability. So, and I know Dave's the same way. Like, singing for the last 20 years, I've gone through so many iterations of, I have to chew gum right before I go on stage. I think that helps. Then you discover, that doesn't help. That doesn't, whatever. I have to warm up first thing in the morning. I think that's the thing that helps. And then you have a show where you didn't warm up and you sing great and you're like, all right, so that doesn't matter. I've gone through so many iterations of what matters and what doesn't matter. I'm still searching for what matters. What are your things that you have to do on like a concert day that like get your voice ready, all that kind of stuff? And we can get as nerdy as you want. These are nerdy music questions.
I mean, I'm so deep into this. The voice when I was younger, like you guys, or even younger than you, like starting out, you think too much about. You have to think a lot about it because you're still trying to learn. Like when I was first starting out, and I was working with Bernadette Peters as teacher, and I was 12. The first thing they did was to put a candy on my tongue. Because I guess my natural state was a little, jaw was a little snug. And because I had been a dancer, my abdomen was a little up because I wanted to be up. So my stomach was tight, like, cause I was always pulling
tense.
up and I was breathing shallow up at the top chest. So these are simple little adjusted things that, I don't even think about now, but just the first things I had to learn was the voice is a channel from your air, your lungs, through your vocal cords, through your resonance in your mouth. You don't want to have your chin out. You don't want to have your back arched. You don't want to have all these cockamamie things I was doing. When I was older, I did Alexander technique and Reiki and whatever else to kind of create a spine. I don't need any of it now. Now
Because it's just muscle memory now.
now I'm a straight line. The jaw
Wow.
drops, the teeth, the back teeth are no longer misaligned. I can tap the back teeth together in a way if I ever want to just quickly realign to free the
Wow.
jaw. These are little things, and there were years where I would think of high notes. There was one year where I actually got in front of, I'm going to get two pencils to show you. One year I was in front of thousands of people and I had to sing from the Phantom of the Opera. And
Jeez.
literally I couldn't sing the high B at the end of that. And Joan Lader, who works with a lot of big stars and opera singers like Frederic von Stade, but all the way, people like Audra and big Patti LuPone, big great singers as well, and theater business.
She's also worked with some rock singers.
Hugh
too.
Jackman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the big, always bumping into Roberta Flack, Bjork,
Jeez
everybody.
Louise.
So one thing she would say on the big high note was to imagine I was a walrus and these two sticks. I'm using two pencils your viewers can't see, but imagine you're biting. She'd give me two sticks, like biting these two things, and literally sing the high note as if you have this walrus thing, these two sticks behind your back teeth, because I was opening my mouth too much, thinking,
Wow.
big notes, open your mouth. Well, a mouth that's open is not a mouth that's open wide. It's a mouth that
you narrow it if you open it too much.
Within the space, you are the cello, right? You have the space. You're a piano. The resonant space is behind you. You have to talk to people behind you.
Wow.
Sing to the person behind you.
Oh, wow.
See, this already, Dave. I'm like, we don't know anything about.
No, I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue.
What do we even
But
do?
you have the quirky freedom in a way of being allowed to use all the idiosyncrasies of your natural voice and put them on a microphone. And then you have all these little scrapes and hoarse sounds and it's all cool. If I have any scrapes or hoarse music and I'm trying to sing like Barbara Streisand, people are going to say, well, she's not that good a technical singer. She's a good singer, but she's not a good technical singer.
Wow.
I work in a very demanding little spiky space, similar to like the Maria Callas world, where, very passionate, not the best technical singer. And it's nagging, so it's always, you're not going to deal with that. No one's going to be like, well, Dave's good, but he's got a little scrape, and
Right.
Yeah.
We
get to call that character.
It's all character.
Exactly. So I've had to learn all these things, but the exciting thing, and then I'll wrap this up if it's in the interest of, like you said, brevity, but the exciting thing is that yesterday, my teacher, the same teacher, actually, though I have multiple coaches and teachers, my main technical teacher, this lady that I go to check in with her, she said I'm singing better than ever.
Wow.
Like,
that's
amazing.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
And that has to do, she thinks, with the fact that with a lot of life things are going on. I crossed 50 years old and I have the children and my father and mother and stuff. I am now distracted by reality. And maybe I'm singing just from my self.
Yeah.
And a new freedom is coming in of just wanting to connect, sing, and be done with it. And you stop and then go.
Don't worry about being so perfect all the time.
But there's so much technical
you've already learned
available. But there's this other, like, from my heart quality that I think I'm moving towards. So one of the reasons we're interested and open to do interviews and things is that I feel like I'm still growing. I'm still aspirational. I'm still evolving.
Yeah.
So we're excited about the future and all.
This is the only thing she needs on her day of her.
It's incredible.
Water.
Incredible.
I just put it in front.
Glass of water.
I need water.
Shit,
It's. I remember, there was a voice doctor who said to me, "Water, water, water. Stop with the supplements. Don't take any blood thinning stuff. All the ointments and sprays and silver
Well, you do
colloidal.
have that spray thing.
that
You do have
that's aloe vera gel. That's stupid.
right.
That's rare. I'm talking about sprays up the nose. That was where I was going. Weird things sprayed up my nose. I
Excuse me?
recommend we simplify. You just get healthy, anti-inflammatory, and don't have too much inflammation in your life. Smoking, obviously terrible. Alcohol, forget it. Great idea, but not for your world. I guess you got to get a little high and whatever. But
That's fascinating. No, I love that. I love that answer. You obviously have so many years of practice, but also just the knowledge, under your belt. So
yeah, I work really John, I've never missed a lesson. I still go, I train,
Wow.
and
I love that.
apparently that is one of the secrets to longevity is to continue to find your technical teachers. And even if you're in a way starting to groove and make your own rules, you should check in with people. You should never just become lazy and start just accepting like a yodel in the voice. If you get a yodel, you better check in with. I don't know why some of the great singers, they start yodeling.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be sounding like you're an opera singer, then a belter, then
Yeah.
voice can stay smooth even as you get at least to my age. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping another 10 years or so.
At least.
Hey,
John, just let me get through with this bench press. Okay, go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you don't put any weight on the bar, it's really impressive. Listen, there was this guy that I knew in high school. Okay. Stay with me.
Okay.
I'm not going to say his name, but he knows who he is. Okay.
Well, okay, I guess a little pushback initially is, don't most people know who they are, John?
Typically, yes.
Okay.
They do. But anyway, this guy, don't interrupt anymore.
Okay.
This guy, he was nauseous all the time. I'm talking PE class, right? I'm talking lunch.
Don't say
practice.
church. Don't say church.
Church.
Oh,
right.
church.
Playing video games. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
The dude was always feeling like he was about to throw up.
Wow.
And I felt so bad for him. And so, I hope so much that wherever he is right now, he knows about our sponsor
John,
today,
what if he doesn't, John? What if he doesn't?
That's what keeps me up at night, right? Then I hope that he's listening right now, because I'm going to tell him right now.
Yeah, tell him.
Relief Band, right, is the original anti-nausea wristband that quickly relieves and prevents nausea and vomiting associated with motion sickness, anxiety, migraines, hangovers, morning sickness, chemotherapy, and more.
Yeah. Relief Band is a band you wear on your wrist to give you relief from nausea, and you can change its intensity, strong or weak. So me or you, John, depending on how you're feeling. It's 100% drug-free, non-drowsy, works quickly before or after symptoms start, and has 0 side effects.
Plus, Relief Band's new Premier Plus model provides advanced nausea relief. Not just nausea relief, advanced nausea relief. Includes a digital clock and utilizes smart skin sensing technology to preserve battery life.
Okay, at first, I didn't even comprehend how this would work, John.
Right.
But now, just like Neil Diamond, I'm a believer, and I bet your buddy from high school is too, John. So, if you want to cure your nausea problems fast, join the hundreds of thousands of people who are nausea-free with Relief Band. Right now, we've got an exclusive offer just for Dadville listeners.
Let me tell them about it, okay? If you go to reliefband.com and use promo code DADVILLE, that's Dadville.
That's right.
You'll receive, sorry, not and
Well, you know
receive.
what I was going to say. It fits right under your sleeve.
20% off plus free shipping.
Yeah.
So head to reliefband.com, reliefband.com, and use our promo code DADVILLE for 20% off plus tell them, Dave.
Free ships. Nope, no, read that wrong. Free shipping.
There we go. All right, let's get serious for a second, Dave.
Yeah.
Listen, can I just say something?
Please do.
I'm gonna start off by saying this. Featuring thousands of study notes drawn from the best-selling NIV application commentary series, the NIV application Bible helps you understand Scripture and apply it to your modern life, Dave.
I'm going to follow your energy, John.
Do it.
I love the way the NIV application Bible pairs a deeper understanding of the ancient biblical text with contemporary applications of the lessons found within it.
You stole the words from me, which you're not supposed to do. That's biblical. I totally agree. It gives a new way to understand the Bible and what the Bible means for your life today.
Here's what you find inside the Bible, John. Not inside yourself, but inside the Bible. But if you read it enough, it'll be inside yourself, okay? Original meaning notes that help you understand each passage in its context.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll up you one.
Okay.
But you're not supposed to gamble. That's probably in the Bible too. How about application notes that help you integrate the teachings of the Bible into your daily life? Or, I got more here, questions for growth, right? In each chapter of the Bible that encourage reflection on how to apply Scripture to life.
I'm going to one-up you, which I know is not in the Bible. And don't forget, people to know to explore the lives of biblical characters.
Yep, I was going to say that one too. You can save an additional 10% on any NIV application Bible and NIV application commentary resources by visiting faithgateway.com/NIVAB and using our promo code Dadville.
I'm going to say it one more time, which is biblical, John. That's faithgateway.com/NIVAB and promo code Dadville for an extra 10% off.
Okay, Patrick. I feel so much anxiety right now because I have too many questions I want to ask you about the game of tennis.
Nice. Okay.
You like him better.
No.
It's okay. It's gonna happen.
No, I just feel like they're okay. I'll pick this one.
Go for it.
You came up and played professionally, in the late 80s, 90s, which is about the time that I kind of came online and started, paying attention to tennis. And obviously
He
now
was like 5.
there's so much. Thank you so much. That's our soundbite. That's the name of the episode. John is young. What? How do you compare the game now compared to what was then? This is too big of a question because there's obviously the technical things that have changed with the rackets and all that kind of stuff, and what guys are doing, the way the game is played. No one serves and volleys anymore. Maybe it's coming back a little bit. I don't know, but what do you?
Oh, look, he
as
says
a
no.
player,
He says no, John.
Oh, it's not coming
No.
back.
It's not coming back. No.
Okay. Because guys are just serving too hard.
Correct.
The ball's moving too fast.
That's correct.
What do you think is the biggest difference between what is expected of players now and what comes with being a top 30 player in the world versus how it was
That's great.
back when you were playing?
There's no difference in that aspect. The only difference in the game, and you touched on it already with your comments inside the question, were that the game just gotten that much faster. The game is still essentially the exact same game. If you gave my brother and Bjorn Borg Babolat rackets, or the rackets they use now, when they were kids, they would have been playing the same way that we just watched Federer, Nadal, Djokovic play. Now there's two new guys in Sinner and Alcaraz. They're elevating the game. They're making the game even more athletic, which doesn't mean that they're better athletes. It's just that they're making the game because they're taking the ball on a little bit earlier. They're playing more offensive more often. I watched the first match they ever played in a major was 3 years ago at the U.S. Open 22. And I was sitting courtside because it was, sort of still COVID a little bit. And so they didn't want 3 of us in the booth. So I said, well, I'll go down courtside for the match. My brother and Chris Fowler were in the commentary booth. And I got to sit there right on the court. And what I call it, guys, is the tempo of each point is different.
Wow.
Like the speed and the trajectory of the shot is faster. And that's, doesn't mean that, again, they're better than the guys before them. They're just elevating the game. And that pretty much happens about every 10 to 15 years in tennis. These guys are accelerating it even faster. And that's kind of exciting. But when you could go back and watch, I go do it all the time. Watch Lendl play Wilander in the final of Paris. And they're literally playing in slow motion. Clearly.
Isn't that crazy?
Like Lendl hits the ball and he just stands there. Because there's so much time in between shots. Now there's so little time. And that's really the only thing that's changed. As you said, John, serve and volley is basically dead because of the speed of the game, because you can't, you don't have enough time to get in position at net, because the serve is harder, the return is harder, the ball's being, not only the pace of the ball, but the spin of the ball is more intense. So that makes everything just exponentially faster.
It's too bad, actually, if you think.
Well, I don't think so.
I know.
Bad.
I know.
It's I think it's more exciting to watch now than ever.
I love that take so much. It's just too bad.
It's too bad. There is something exciting about when a player does serve and volley. I do love it. It's like a throwback.
Yeah, well, you used to have time to serve, and you could play the volley. And then the other guy, could only slice the backhand, so he'd have to put up a lob. And and remember Arthur Ashe when he played Connors in the Wimbledon final, 75, and he served. And every time Connors, I rewatched the match because it was Arthur's 50th anniversary, and I did some podcasts that I do for the International Tennis Hall of Fame about that win. So I went back and I watched the match again. And literally every time Connors came to net, Arthur just threw up a lob over the backhand side, and Connors would run back, let it bounce up. Like that would never happen today.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
never, that wouldn't happen. So that's fun to watch. But there's new things
Right.
happening that, quite frankly, I never thought were possible. That these
Mhm.
current
Yeah.
players are able to do like consistently. All of a sudden, they're hitting drop shots for winners, but they're hitting drop
Oh,
shots
yeah.
off of like unbelievably difficult positions.
Yeah.
Like we would tell our kids at our tennis academy, my brother and I run a tennis academy here in New York. I was just there this morning. We're telling the kids, oh, you got to play the percentage shot. No, don't do the tweener. Now it's like throw it all out the window because the pros are, they're doing it all.
Well, they're seeing Alcaraz do
Right.
it every 3 points, so they're going to do what they're
So,
seeing.
so now our teaching is different. And I said to one of the
Yeah.
kids, he went for between the leg shot. And I said, do you think that was the right move? And he goes, well, probably not. And I said, well, what do you think? What was the score when you did that? He goes, well, it was 3. It was, I just broke him. It was 2-1, first. I said, well, maybe if you're up 4-love, 40-love, I said, I'm not going to tell you not to do it because I don't want to tell the kids, like, don't ever do that because they watch on TV.
Right.
All the pros do it. So it's like,
Yeah.
I can't tell the kids, first of all, they got to have some fun. It is a game. So let's not get
Yeah.
carried away here. But I said, maybe next time do it he goes, yeah, if I have a big lead, I could try it. I said, there you go.
I like this
Yeah.
side of my husband. I'm gonna come
Well-
more often.
Well, what's so funny, Melissa? Literally, as
I like this. He's like,
I was watching you gaze at him, and I was like, "That's just like the sweetest thing to
It's nice,
see."
actually. We're married so long. I've known him. It's just like nice to hear him.
You should come to the tennis academy.
nice
Check out. Sometimes she forgets that. Yeah, sometimes she talks. Yeah.
But you know what's so funny, though, to your point? I think that's so true and beautiful, Melissa, because I think there is something about marriage that's so funny, especially when you've been married for a while, that it's sort of I hate to say it this way, but you sort of forget the things that your partner is really great at.
Person, exactly.
Because it's not like y'all
Right.
sit around and talk about that. That's what you do in your normal life. So you come home and you talk about
Right.
new things. And it is fun every now and then to remember, like, wow, you're really good at this,
Well, listen, if you want to see your husband in this light some more, we could set up another hour,
John would just
and I could
go.
just rapid
We should do
fire.
this like twice a year. So yeah, if we they're
Go to marriage
much cheap.
counts.
It's much cheaper than therapy. Yeah.
It's more like a little bit on your best behavior. And then
Yeah, yeah.
True.
say all these
True.
Nasty thing. Yeah.
and all these
Yeah.
Pain in the ass.
So,
Right.
so speaking of the marriage, you guys are going to celebrate 27 years
Yes.
in
I guess.
December. Is that right?
Is it 20?
Yep.
In December.
7, yeah.
So let's go back to the beginning. What was the meet cute? How did you guys meet?
Well, it depends on which meeting. I mean, we were little kids together. We were in elementary school together. Didn't you
Holy
mention that?
cow.
What was the other one?
Oh, that was the sleeping.
No- Which some people call this podcast a sleep podcast, too, whether we like it or not.
It was in our resume thing, but we met.
Grade school. We met in grade school. Her
Jeez
brother, who's
Louise.
my age, we were best friends, like from like 2nd grade to 8th
Oh,
to elementary school.
I was in kindergarten when I met him.
She was in kindergarten. I was in 4th grade, 5th grade, and I
uh-huh.
kind of had like a crush on her with that
Oh,
age.
yeah, you did.
Right,
By the time
right.
she was in 4th grade, like I was in 8th or 9th.
So meet cute wise, the
Yeah.
outside the science room. Like we have a weird.
Yeah, we
memory
have a memory outside by the water fountain by the science room
of
that we had like a moment,
Whoops.
like
each
Yeah,
other, and we actually both remember the moment,
yeah.
which is weird. There was like
that's
after
amazing.
school, we were both like we stopped and looked at each other by the water fountain in front of the science room.
Because I used to.
And is this in the city?
Yeah, no, this is on Long Island where we grew
Long
up.
Island. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
close to the city. So we went to the same school. So I would go to her house because I'd sleep, stay with their brother. We were like
Uh-huh.
friends.
Wow.
And then our parents became very good friends. So they used to, flip burgers together when they have soccer games and all that crap. And it only took me 20 years to run her down because it happened in our late 20s when we re-met. And
Yeah.
we re-met was I had just had shoulder surgery. So my tennis career was in jeopardy. I wasn't gonna be able to play for like 9 months.
Jeez.
So I was home in New York by myself in my nice apartment on the Upper West Side, and I'm like, oh, like what am I gonna do? I mean, I just literally had surgery. I got to find, I got to look up my friends.
It was quirky, that apartment.
Don't get into the apartment.
Okay.
He hated the apartment.
No, because
Yeah.
It's another
the
episode.
decorator named Harry.
Yeah, it was very
his last
it
name.
was very masculine.
It was
Very-
masculine. He met
Oh, nice.
this guy Harry, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A lot of
But
A
anyway,
lot of neon signs.
point
beer
is,
Looked
rugs,
like a
tiger
caveman
rugs.
lived there.
you guys will appreciate this because her brother became
gooches and
her
brown
brother
things.
became a successful singer-songwriter in New York. Mike,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so he's now a professor of music at NYU.
Oh, that's awesome.
I looked up his. I was going through my drawer at home, and I see his postcard. And this was before the internet and all that. So he would send the postcard that would talk about his gigs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I'm getting to that.
Sorry.
This is my time now. Then your time's next.
Oh,
Okay, so I call the number on the card, and it's like a recording. Hey, it's Mike. My next gig is such and such. It would happen to be the next night, tomorrow night.
Oh, here
And
we
I
go.
said, you know what? I'm going to go down there. I said, because my parents were big fans of Melissa. Went to see her anytime she did a Broadway
Oh,
show
that's
or
great.
anything
That's
in New
great.
York. And so I was off playing tennis, from 22 to 28, 29. And I knew nothing about that world. So my mom would always say, you really should meet Melissa. She's really turned into, quite the young lady. So
What a great comment.
yeah, so I go down there thinking, okay, I'll go see Mike. I'll get out. I'll go out. Go to the bar downtown, and maybe I'll run into Melissa. And the rest was history. She was
There it
actually
is.
just leaving when I was at the bar having a couple beers, watching the show, and then her brother was, gathering up all his equipment and stuff. And
Mike called me back in.
Mike called me back and said, Melissa, it's Pat, because we're best friends. So we all went out. I took her out for a burger at the
Alone, the two
at
of
the
us.
Alone, like 3 hours later. We went out for a burger,
At
and
the corner bistro. You could still
which
get
is
a
a famous place. And
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
yeah,
That was Pat.
Where was the gig at? But I'm curious if it's a spot we've
Oh,
played.
it was called
it was that place
the
right
New
on
Music Cafe.
on
And it
Delancey,
was called the New Music Cafe.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was called the New Music Cafe.
Okay.
It was downtown.
like East Village, like in the East
Okay.
Village somewhere. Yeah,
I'm gonna say
Okay.
that's right. No, it wasn't.
So then the moment comes where you're like, we're all hanging. We've been hanging our whole life, kind of, but this is like the moment where I'm going to ask her out for a burger.
Yeah, we went out for a burger. I think she might have asked
It
me
was
actually.
spontaneous,
Yeah, and then I called her like the next day, and I was living on the Upper West
But in
Side.
Tatum O'Neal's car, you had John and
Oh,
Tatum's
I
car.
had
You
given me
called
the
it
old-
the next day.
Jeez.
With the old Porsche.
The
Yeah.
old Porsche.
Oh, yeah.
Tatum O'Neal's Porsche.
Right.
Red
Mhm.
Porsche convertible, and he pulled up in the West.
They were still married at the time. Yeah,
Was
obviously.
still married?
I don't know. I think no, they weren't.
No, I think they were.
No, because when I
it
won the
was all messed up.
yeah, well, no, it was they were definitely not married. Yeah, that's true. You're right. Because it was
A lot of fun, It was like mixing worlds. Like I didn't even know
Yeah.
people make tennis a profession. I thought it was something I didn't even know. I honestly didn't even really. I had seen Patrick on television because I
Yeah.
would catch it, for a glimpse. But I guess I didn't really put it all together that that's a
you could actually make a living doing that.
nothing
You know?
like
Right.
oh
It's just a game you play.
Yeah, just a game.
yeah.
So buckle up because we're about to go spelunking, guys.
Okay.
That was easy. Now we're getting to level 2. How is marriage what you thought, and how is it not what you thought it would be?
We don't think about it.
I love that.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
I think he's busy and I'm busy. And
we do our thing. We do it. We try to do our own thing. We have our own interests, which is good.
Yeah.
We've
Mhm.
learned a lot about what each other does, but we give each other space to do our thing.
how is it? What
and-
did you think anything about marriage? Did you want to get married?
I do. I want to get married to you.
Hey, look
Yeah.
at this. Look at this guy.
Married to
He
you?
knows what
That's
he's
the right
doing.
Well,
He knows what he's doing.
I definitely, when I met her, I knew that I wanted to get married to her.
Mm.
And my dad
Mhm.
said, she's a very successful singer. I mean, are you ready for this? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. So it's been there's a lot of ups and downs from the professional side
Yeah.
that can carry over sometimes into the personal. And then you have 3 little kids.
But we have
You
the
know.
core things and
Yeah, we have the same similar values, I think.
because
So,
we have we were children together. So there's like
I was gonna
Right.
say there's something so beautiful about such a shared experience in y'all's lives, which I think would be very rooting. That like each other's families,
I can-
siblings.
Yeah.
mind as a child. I know what
Yeah.
it felt
Yeah.
like.
That yes, that's so.
yet-
That's so
my
great.
my wife and I, we don't go back that far, but we did go to the same high school. We didn't start dating until later, but one of my favorite things is I love that we can randomly reference like, Miss Carrico's class or something. I was trying to think of some
Yeah.
thing the other day, some
Yeah,
Right.
medical thing, and I'm like, I'm trying to remember, what did Miss Carrico teach us? And she gets that reference,
yeah.
which I love that. And you guys have that,
We do have
in droves.
amazing daughters, which I don't think we could even have expected that we would take such pleasure in 3 teenage girls / women now. Like like we're in the book Little Women. Like it's like that's a whole thing. Like the 2 of us were so independent, and yes, the elementary school, yes, our families, yes, tennis, yes, Broadway, all of the things we were trying to accomplish as younger people, ups and downs, like he was saying. But now we're existing in a world in which we're the grown-ups. That's really different. And we have these ravishing daughters. It's like, I think we're kind of, we're sort of a part of a garden or something now, like big, beautiful flowers and colors that we never even
love
could have
that.
predicted, And
Yeah.
our parents are, his parents have, left, and we loved them so. I loved his parents. He loved his parents, of course. I loved them too. His mother used to enter the room and say, "It's the dreaded mother-in-law." I loved her.
Yeah.
And
Dad loved you. My
yeah.
dad loved to sing. My dad
Oh yeah,
used to
yeah.
sing a little too much because he was an old Irishman. He used to drink too much, and he would start singing, and he thought that everybody loved to hear him sing. But he, his dream was to sing with Melissa, because he
Oh
loved
wow.
standards. He loved the old things, and a lot of the stuff that Melissa grew up with and has sung her whole life. So there was that connection, and her parents are still here, getting up there in age, and had a little couple issues recently. So navigating that.
So we never would have predicted that.
Yeah.
You can't even think that at some point you're going to be the grown-ups, and you're going to have to help each other in a marriage to say goodbye to it's so awful.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to do it well.
No, we're going to do it well.
We're going to do it well.
So what would you say, what trait from the other person would you steal from the other
I
person?
love that.
If you could steal one quality from the other, what would you steal?
Well, I mean, she's got the charisma and so on, the talent, but I would say from the standpoint of like the daily life, like her management skills, like she could be a director, she could be a manager.
Wow.
She pretty much does everything herself for her, a lot of the stuff for her career, that since she's doing kind of her own one-woman show. So
solopreneur.
yeah, exactly. So I think I would take that, and she does get frustrated with me at times that I don't manage, the things around the family and the house and so on. So if I could take one thing, I think I've gotten a little better the last few years, but she's not buying it. So
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's the part of that let it go thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is somewhat better.
We're seeing you let it go in real time.
Yeah.
Right now.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I organize. There's a lot to organize. Look, there's not going to be as much to organize when the girls can organize themselves. And I've made 3 super capable girls. So they are rock stars, and so we're good. We're good. It is what it is. It's sort of like a wave that comes through for 20 years, but but now it's over. So
almost
over. Well, no, but they can drive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
God. So what I would take about Patrick, a wonderful thing, is many metaphors always come to mind that are tennis related, though I'm not saying I see him as a tennis metaphor. But one of the things he would say, if you relax your arm, the ball will go faster, things like that. But one of the things he used to say, and I see it in his whole self, is to wait for the ball. Don't go after the ball. Let the ball come to you. He does that, and he has always had this like slightly, but like he's a little like he's calm, and he has a good sense of himself, and it resolves a lot of conflicts. It draws people to him. He's great in business. He's great on TV. He's great in a tennis team environment, and in a corporate environment. He's great on this podcast. He lets things come.
Yeah, that's a gift.
It's a beautiful gift. And so that's something that it appears passive, but it's wise.
That is very well said. Very well said.
It's something that I could use, that.
So okay, how old are the girls now?
19, 16, and 16.
Yeah, that's right. Jeez
So
Louise,
one
the
has just
twins.
finished her first year of college, and the two,
Where is she? What college?
she's at Duke.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great. So that's a little bit of a hike.
yeah, it's just a quick flight. That's
That's
nothing.
it. That's it.
Tennis
The
players.
ad.
We
Oh,
travel the world.
yeah, I was gonna say that's
That's
nothing.
true.
You ready to go?
That's true.
Close.
Yeah, well, that's only an 8 hour drive and an hour and 15-minute flight.
Yeah, that's great. That's
So
great.
She's
Yeah.
happy.
she loves it there. She loves
Isn't that great?
Oh,
That's
that's
got to feel
awesome.
so good to know that
Yeah.
she's somewhere
She's
she's
super
liking. It's
happy.
got to
All
be a
three
relief.
girls have hair down to their waist. It's just like there's just
Oh, wow.
something about that. They're just
Just
like
like their dad.
girls with this long hair,
Yeah.
and they each have. She's interested in world finance and math. She's a heavy
You know,
Mm.
math.
this is a random question, but I'm so curious, and you guys can answer this because you did this, but it would be so fun to talk to them about what growing up in the city and then going somewhere else to be for a while is like. You know, because every time I go to New York, I can't help but feeling like this is such a specific
Yeah.
upbringing. Everything, you know what I mean? Like you grow up in a lot of other towns or cities, you know, that there's a lot of things that sort of cross over. And it's not that wouldn't happen in the city, but it's such a specific thing. You know, it's like, and I wonder with them, that'd be a fun thing to ask.
I think they have the best of both worlds because now we are only 10 miles outside the city,
Yeah.
but the dancers go in 6 days a week.
Jeez.
And they were, one is sort of in a modern dance world, a kind of Alvin Ailey style. They're pretty hip New Yorkers, and they always
Yeah.
felt like New Yorkers.
Yeah.
They like the diversity of the city. They like
Yeah.
having to kind of kick ass and wear an Adidas pants and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
also have the beauty and the safety of a town where they can
Yeah, that's right.
they can walk.
we lived in the city until they were the oldest was in 5th grade and the twins went through 2nd grade. So they had the experience of those early years of actually being in the city. And then
Like playing in the parks in the city.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
fun,
yeah,
Yeah.
and then we moved out to the burbs, which has been great. The girls love it. We're close to the city, so we can get back and forth easily.
Yeah.
And the girls, like I was driving her mom home last night after she came up, had dinner with us, and I was driving her back to the city, and she said, "Well, where's Diana?" It's one of our twins, and she had gone into the city to meet her friends on the train.
Wow.
And she
Yeah.
take the train. Your mom said, "Oh, is she okay on the train?" I said, "Yeah, what are you talking? Of course she's okay. She's fine. She does it all the time." "Oh, but is it dangerous?" She
They did the train since
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
saying-
12 from
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You're like, Mom, you
Yeah.
let me do that.
that I was completely like Jodie Foster, it seemed. I was
Yeah.
Jodie Foster in Taxi.
Yeah.
But I was sort of wandering the streets, in
Yeah.
the early 80s,
Yeah.
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 like
but maybe it wasn't safe.
when it
Right,
wasn't
No, I was gonna say, yeah,
Sure,
maybe there was
right.
a little different.
out to my mother.
What prompted the move out of the city?
Just a combination of things. Yeah, tennis. Our oldest one was super into tennis, and
Okay.
I was sort of in a transition time in my career, having left the USTA. Money was definitely part of it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we wanted to have a little space, we have a little and easy
Yeah.
to get around for the tennis part of it.
It's probably mostly money though, because it's a lot to have
Yes, it's a lot
like,
to have
an
3
apartment
kids.
in New York.
Sure.
go
I
to
can't
a
imagine.
Oh, I can't
thing
imagine.
with the private
Well-
schools, what they cost in New York City. Plus,
Insane.
if you
Yeah.
go with public schools, you have 3 kids, and you can't guarantee that they'd all go to the
Oh,
same public
yeah,
school.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
all this.
Mhm.
Well, the middle school, you might have to be in this district, and at this middle school, they won't be able to be full. So you have to get the lottery. Then you'd have 3 little girls in 3 different places in New York
Right.
City. Safety wise, I didn't want that. I wanted them to be calm, and I wanted them to be close to each other. And so it was actually good for the sort of metabolism of the family to kind
Yeah,
of
well
Yeah.
said.
have that.
Well
Yeah.
said.
Well, my wife and I have 2 girls. They're 12 and just turned 10.
Wow.
Hmm.
Dave has 3 kids, 2 boys, and who you've seen this whole interview
Right.
In the
climbing the
background.
fence, and a girl. And I mean, we're getting into that middle school
Right.
era. So like to me, I'm like, we're getting into the thick of it, and we sometimes, we're like, should we move? Should we make some big move here? And it strikes me as an adult. I'm like, still feels weird sometimes to think we have so much influence in these little human beings' lives. Like to sort of watch them, to know what they're going through, to keep an eye on them, and to think, okay, is this the moment where maybe we make the move? Maybe we switch schools because it's getting a little too intense? Or is this one of those moments where, no, we got to push through and they'll learn a lesson from this? Those are tricky things. And so I'm curious what y'all's thoughts on that. I mean, like you said, you're not out of the woods yet. You're still in the thick of it, but you're a little ways down the
We're in
road
good
and have dealt with some of those things.
Yeah.
I think kids are pretty adaptable. I think they're more adaptable than you think.
Yeah.
So they'll roll with it. I always like, we did do some parenting classes when the kids were young, which I thought were very helpful.
Yeah, they put us on the same page. We
yeah.
both sort of bought into this one philosophy about child rearing and how it was based on a book which we would strongly recommend called How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen
Oh,
So
wow.
Kids Will Talk. And it's a book that we took the classes from the woman who was related generationally to the original authors, and we took the workshops.
Wow.
And we continued to just do that book. And the book is a lot about listening.
Yeah, it's mostly about listening and acknowledging your kids. So whatever they're going through,
Yeah.
I deal with this at our tennis academy all the time. The kids, they're crying. I'm having the worst day. I'm playing so bad today. I'm having the worst day ever. So instead of saying,
You're good.
"Oh, get your shit together, man. You can't talk like that." Say, I hear you're really having a bad day, huh? You're really not feeling good. So same with your kids. No, if they get upset about something, let them be upset. Don't, the worst thing to do is don't cry.
Don't cry, or you're okay.
Right, you're okay.
Either
No,
one.
you're not okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's great.
if
That's
you
great.
One is wrong.
so if you
Yeah.
acknowledge the kid, then I think they start to open up a little more, and they start to know that you're listening to them. You're acknowledging their feelings and their emotions, and that helps them, I think, then feel, okay, like I'm safe here.
Yeah, that's right.
I can
That's great.
express myself.
So I'm curious,
do whatever you got to do, John. The kids will be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
they'll
heard
be
it.
fine. And
Yeah.
and get an interest. Try to get them in, try to get a little sense of if they like saxophone or they like something, and
Oh, they both are destined for Broadway. So they're very excited. They would be very excited to talk to you.
well,
Anytime.
I'll come and see.
That's their dream.
In Broadway in New York, not Nashville,
Yeah,
because
not
it's a very
Broadway in
different
Nashville.
thing in Nashville, which maybe my kids are destined for in more ways than one. So another quick question, and then we have the speed rounds. You'll need to buckle up because it is hard hitting, very, very intense journalism, which we're talking to a New York Times contributor here. What would you say each of your superpowers are with parenting?
Parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Language. One of the things I have a superpower with the girls is language. I'm always introducing them to words and ways to turn a phrase.
Yeah.
Diana said to me this morning, she goes, "Oh, I read Adam Gopnik's article in the New Yorker," and I said, "Oh, you did? What was it about?" She goes, "The Renaissance." I said, "Well, what did he say?" He said that the Renaissance was the appeals to the modern mind because the Renaissance created the modern mind.
Wow. Jeez.
And I was like,
Wow.
that's
That's
the
impressive.
beginning
Yeah.
of happiness because
Wow.
Yeah.
enjoy words. And
Yes.
and I have created girls who can say something like that.
Yeah,
And
that's amazing.
they love language. I'm always adding a word to their vocabulary. It's amazing. Just the idea of language and enjoying the getting away from what's ordinary and letting their minds stretch and play. So maybe a kind of sense of poetry and a sense of
Yeah.
something magical is out there. Because I think if you give your kids a kind of nervous feeling of like you got to make money and you got to survive and you got to be good and you have to, I'm always giving them a sense of like the little beautiful shimmers in life.
I
know?
love that.
Yeah, like the flavors as opposed to just a meal.
Yeah.
That's good.
The
Man, that's
scent
good.
of things. And so it's like I yes, maybe I am a little pie in the sky and romantic, but I'm always giving them a sense of like beauty, like a like fantasy,
Yeah. I
And
love
I think
that.
that is a
I love that.
superpower. I don't know if it's going to make them more practical, but
I think my my superpower is believing in them and letting them know that I believe in them and that I trust them. Because it's when it's just like I said, like going out last night to the city. Okay, I have a train. If you need me, I'm here. Let me know when you're coming home. Let me know when you're on the train. And then I just, we never really did like a hard curfew with our girls. We just, so I think we enabled them to be comfortable making their own decisions.
We never took the phone away either. We keep at, we never said we just hope and we talk to them about it. Got to learn to turn that thing off. We don't live in a world where there's no sugar anywhere. There's no, to unplug the phone and grab everything and punish them. We don't do that. We're letting them monitor themselves, and trust they will. And they keep making good choices. And then we thank them and acknowledge that we had a great night. They took care of themselves, and that just begets more trust.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, my parents were really good about that with us, and even as a kid, I clocked.
Good.
Jason, let's loop that in post, just that one comment over and over. But I think even as a kid, I sort of realized the power of their trust, because it really motivated me to prove that they were right. And so the more they were like, hey, like just being at a time, and I was like, okay, I got to do that, and so you would think that giving them a longer leash, and I'm sure it can be problematic, but I know for me, and I feel like my siblings, it really made us want to make better decisions, because we knew we could lose that trust and then that thing would go away. But the more you did, the more trust they gave you. So it was a really interesting,
then you don't have such a bad relationship. You're not living in like a living war to have kids.
Yeah.
People are always like, oh God. When I tell an audience I have 3 teenage girls at home, 1,000 people or 500 or whatever will go, oh, I'll hear like a whole groan from the I'll say, no. I'll actually go, or before you moan, like I'll stop them. It's amazing. It's funny how people just think if you're a parent, you must be beleaguered.
Yeah.
No, we're inspired by them.
Yeah, we're inspired by them. So,
that's great.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good.
All right.
So
we could go on for hours and hours and hours, but you guys have cold AC air hopefully coming through your vents right now that you need to enjoy.
It finally cooled off in New York with the thunderstorm, so at least we're not boiling. Yeah.
Well, we do have a lightning round that we want to get to. This is just hard-hitting, quick
journalism you've never seen in your life before.
Wow. All right. We think,
all right,
but we don't know.
Yeah.
Side of the bed. Has it stayed the same your entire marriage? When you travel, does it change, or is it always the same?
It changed in England. Actually.
Yeah,
I was on
did.
the right
You're on the other side.
That's appropriate. That's appropriate.
I think.
Yeah.
At home, it's always the same.
I seem to be. Yeah, there's something about safety with me. Like I go on a certain side of the room, I feel safe or something. And you seem closer to the bathroom, although you use it less.
Right.
I love that.
Bathtub and stuff. But but I'm on the left side of the bed if you're looking. Well, stage right if you're lying on it.
There we go. There we go.
What a great answer.
And I'm in the deuce court.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Well, if you're close to the bathroom, you definitely are. Kids cry. This has been a long time for y'all, but who would get up? Who was the when the kids cried? Who would get up back when that was happening?
Depended the circumstances.
Yeah, it could be either of us. Yeah,
it actually depends. If we knew it was if it was something serious like sick, I was already awake.
Yeah.
But if it was something that we knew was a kind of sort of a nonsense or just another something chore, it would be him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a very sound sleeper, so I can get up and then I could go back to sleep. She's not so much.
Same.
She wakes up, then she can be up for the rest of the night. Like we have our little dog, so sometimes I'll take him out in 5 a.m. She's like, "Why did you do that?"
Right.
You
mustn't do that.
I'm like, "But I take him out and then I bring him. Then he goes right back."
That's a bad thing. You see, when you react to something that's unfavorable, even with children.
She says it
happen again.
Yeah, she says that when I'm gone, the dog never wakes her up.
No.
So he knows that he'll go downstairs.
You trained him.
He knows.
Go out and take a pee, and then I give him a treat.
Melissa's just biting her tongue.
My wife and I are the same in the way we sleep. Like I'm a super sound sleeper, and my wife could not be a lighter sleeper.
Yeah.
And so we'll be having coffee in the morning, and she'll be like, "Oh, it was a rough night." And I'm
I
like,
do. Yeah.
"What are you talking about? What happened?" She's like, "Well, Livy came down 3 times, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't find Luca for a couple hours, and I was asleep the whole
You
time."
slept right through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know the feeling.
Yeah. Your heart lives, whether you're a mother, your heart lives with
Yeah.
where they
Yep.
are. You're in there, you're on their pillow.
Yep.
All right, so let's say you guys have 2 days. You have 48 hours, just the two of you. You could do anything. You could be anywhere in the world. What do you guys do?
The same thing, whatever it is. We would actually agree on it.
Yeah.
We would enjoy the same thing. I don't know what
Right.
it
It
would
would
be.
be a trip to the, to be to Hydra or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Greece.
yeah.
Yeah.
We could get there that quick, but for 2 days,
Nantucket or something.
some place we could get to fairly quickly. But a little beach. I love the woods. I love hiking. I love to hike. We've done that a few times, so we could go up north. But
We agree on it. I just don't know where
we
we're
just don't
gonna
know
be.
exactly what it would take.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whatever it
But
would
if we
be,
know
you'd
we'd
both be
enjoy-
in for it.
Yeah.
Listen,
Maybe it'll
y'all
be
got to get
Nashville
down
next
here.
Come on.
It's a wonderful place.
Yeah.
We literally, as of today, it cooled. It has been miserable here, and like you said, Patrick, we
yeah,
just had
text us
today.
first
It's been
before
incredible.
you come.
Okay, I have a quick question for each of you. So another hard hitting. I'm going to give you a second because as I say them, you can think about these. Patrick, favorite tennis match of all time. Melissa, favorite musical of all time.
Right.
Right,
That's an
first.
easy one for you. Yeah.
No,
No.
I wasn't going to say On Your Toes. I was going to say
Oh, yeah.
a chorus line. It's just, there was something about a chorus line that really made me, want to
Wow.
go into show business. It's just the line of people, and each person ultimately is all unified in the chorus line. They all look the same with the
Yeah.
top hat. But by the end of that meet, during the course of the show, you learned that what it cost each one of them, how they got the dream, what obstacles they overcame, their ethnic background, their body type issues, tits and ass, that song, all of those things. Every person had an amazing, complex, totally different reason for wanting to be an actor, and they
In that
all
thing.
unified
Yeah.
for the show.
That's
I
great.
love that. I love all these diverse people coming together in a common cause. That's like
I
my
love that.
nirvana.
That's a great answer.
Well, I've been lucky enough to have
was gonna
seen
say.
quite a few of those
You've seen them
famous
all,
matches.
right? You've been there for pretty much all of
Pretty
them.
much I pretty much called them all that have happened since
crazy.
the last 25 years. Believe it or not, when my brother had his famous match with Borg at Wimbledon, which he lost eventually, and the famous tiebreak, I was actually at a junior tournament playing the junior nationals in Fort Worth, Texas, and I was watching from like my motel room. Those motels where you pull up and the pool is right there, and then you drive into your door. So, but I would say probably the one, and we just saw another one in Paris just a couple months ago, with Alcaraz, which was goes into my top 5. I'd probably put Federer and Nadal Wimbledon when Nadal won his first, finally won it. 08, because I think that was so monumental for him to win Wimbledon. The way he did it, the match with the rain delays, this is before the roofs, where now there's basically no delays in these matches. So it added a lot of drama. And at the time I mean, obviously I've always worked for ESPN. ESPN didn't have the rights to the finals. That was NBC. But ESPN had hired Dick Enberg. I don't know if you guys are maybe too young, but maybe you remember Dick Enberg was a legendary play-by-play announcer for baseball, football, and then he got super into tennis. And he used to do Breakfast at Wimbledon when it was all those years on NBC. So ESPN brought him over in his later years, and he and I called the final, but it wasn't live on air because that was on NBC. But ESPN wanted to do it because we all thought this was going to be could be an epic match. So in those years they had ESPN Classic. Remember ESPN Classic? So, and we did the broadcasting during the week, right? And then NBC did the final weekend. So we were there the whole time. So we said, we're going to stay. And I got to call the match just with Dick Enberg. And one of the great calls, when finally Rafa finally won, and he just like, I get chills just thinking about his reaction. He just stood up and he said, "Rafael Nadal." has won Wimbledon. Like it was like that
Yeah.
simple. It was just, and he was like, I look at the video of it and I can remember like his excitement, you know, and he had this pad of paper that he used to literally write notes about every single detail about the play. I mean, this guy was old school because he was a baseball guy. So he was into the set. So he used to write, you know, Rafael Nadal, age, you know, 26, Manacor, Spain, you know, the just titles this year. I mean, he had everything written down.
Who was that? Enberg?
Dick Enberg. That's how
Yeah.
he used to do it. So anyway, that was, you know, and obviously Federer, Djokovic matches, Nadal, Djokovic in Australia was still the longest match ever played, 5 hours, 53 minutes.
He knows
Amazing.
every detail. Do you notice that?
I was there for that. So
Crazy.
I was happy because I always loved Federer and, you know, to watch him play. And I was happy when he beat Nadal at the Australian Open from a breakdown in the fifth. And I believe I had one of the good lines that had ever said about the match. I said he out Rafa
Yeah.
Rafa.
That's
In the fifth set.
so accurate.
He was down and a lot of people always used to give Federer, you know, not enough props, I thought, for his intensity as a competitor because you know he made it
Right.
look so easy. So I like the fact that late in his career he had some moments where he was able to, you know, show his will,
Yeah.
that he was able to come back, and that was, you know, one of the greatest points ever played. And you could just Google it; it would come up immediately. In the fifth set, it was like 4-3, 30 all, I think, and they went back and forth. And Roger slid into the forehand like on a hard court. He slid into it and hit a winner down the line. It was like just one of the most amazing shots ever.
I know. That's
Okay,
insanity.
just real quick. This is just I'm going to start the timer one more time. Just real quick. The French
never do
Open
the timer
final.
well.
Yeah, the timer is in hard quotes. Alcaraz Sinner that we just saw 2 months ago. Are you watching it? Like I'm watching it as just, yes, I love tennis and I've played a million hours of tennis. You wouldn't be able to tell watching me play tennis, but I love it. And so are you watching it on a different level thinking like, no, I can see what's happening here. Alcaraz, he's got more in him. He's going to come back. Are you, and if so, what are the signs that you're seeing?
The answer is yes. I am watching it, I think, on a different level. I did think he could come back in that match. There's certain times when you just know it's over. I'm not going to say I was predicting at love 40 on his serve that he's going to come back, but I wasn't surprised that he came, because this guy's he's a different animal. I was actually equally as surprised that Sinner came back from being a breakdown in the fifth, because I thought Alcaraz was going to run away with it. So I'm not always right. You know, sometimes you read it and he's like, that impressed me more. Not more. It impressed me a lot. And that's why I predicted Sinner would beat Alcaraz in the Wimbledon final, which he did. Because sometimes what people don't understand is that when you lose a match and you come back the way Sinner did to still almost win the match late after you've blown this huge lead, that means something. You know, that's when tennis players give up in matches. Us other players recognize that, because even like players that give up, you know, you remember that. And even like, I remember Andy Roddick, who, you know, played for me in Davis Cup for so many years. And he was like the ultimate competitor, but he was playing Nadal in Spain on clay, getting his ass kicked. And he knew he was getting his ass kicked. And so but he kept fighting. Like he never quit, even though he knew he goes, PMAC, he goes, I got no, he goes, I'm just getting, I said, I know, man. And we both knew it. It was 6-3, 6-2, you know, 3 love. But he fought to the bitter end. And people were, you know, people.
I danced with Andy on the table.
we won the table. But the other players.
And he said, "But Mac, your wife is more fun than you."
Yeah, he was right. Yeah.
It's just we were all crazy that night. Anyway, keep.
But the players get that, and there's like there's sort of a code, you know, that of respect when you do that. So I think for Sinner to come back the way he did and almost win it in Paris actually helped him, and I actually think it made him a lot more fans, because people saw, you know, that, you know, his ability to dig in even deeper. Alcaraz, you know, he's an amazing talent. The one thing I said about him this year in Australia, when he he, in my view, let Djokovic beat him because Djokovic was sort of somewhat injured, and Djokovic got in his head. And I said the only thing that Alcaraz isn't at the moment is he's not a street fighter. If he becomes a street fighter, in the way that Djokovic has become, and Nadal just always was, he'll be pretty much probably unbeatable. But those two guys have definitely distanced themselves from the pack, and hopefully one of these American guys who are awesome players, Taylor Fritz, Ben Shelton, Tommy Paul, Francis Tiafoe, those guys are awesome guys, great players. I'm hoping one of them can sort of break through and at least win one of these big ones. Because the problem in tennis is, imagine if you're Taylor Fritz, but you're a football player or you're a basketball player. You're an absolute superstar, right? You're the best player on the planet. And by the way, who plays NFL football outside of this country? Answer, nobody. Okay. But if you're the number 16th, best football player, which is amazing, you're an absolute superstar Hall of Famer. You're Taylor Fritz and you're number 4 in the world. And people are like, oh man, when's this guy going to win a major?
It's brutal.
That's tough.
The other thing that I think is so, just to finish that thought that you said about tennis and growing up, this is why I never had the head game for it, was like to your point about Andy, it's just like tennis is such a humbling sport, one, because it's one-on-one, but you can just get obliterated. Like it's not something where in every sport you can do that, but because it's a singular sport, it's like, I just feel for, like when you're watching Andy play that game, he's like, I can't do anything. I'm at the height of my powers, and he's just that much more power. It's just such a humbling sport that way, It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had that experience far too many times, especially against a guy named Andre Agassi, who used to just pummel on center court at Wimbledon and center court at the French Open. And a couple of my Stanford buddies were at the match in Paris, and it was in the 3rd round, which for me was pretty good to make it to the 3rd round in Paris. And I was down 6-2, 6-2, 4-0. And he was just literally just running me. He wasn't even trying to finish the point. He was just making me run. And I looked up at my buddies from the Stanford team, and they're like, oh, Mac, I'm a human punching bag.
And there's no tagging out.
About this.
But you know what? I took my punishment.
Yeah,
I didn't give up. I ran for every ball.
Like, are you guys talking after? Because obviously y'all know each other. I mean, like, you know each other. Like, are you?
I mean, you're in the same locker room.
I mean, are you talking to him afterwards? Like, dude, what are you doing to me, man?
We shook hands and he said, "Oh man, I really played well today. Sorry." I said, "Yeah, you did." Yeah.
They're all so friends now.
Yeah, we
unbelievable. Okay, last question for y'all. If you were going to write a book on marriage, if y'all were going to write a book on marriage, what would it be called? I know it's really amazing. At the same time.
That's it.
Maybe it should be
the answer.
Yeah, that's the answer. Where do we start?
I love that.
Maybe it would be Sondheim song. Move on.
Yeah.
Just move on.
Clowns. Something.
No.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know.
I don't know.
About marriage.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like that's one of the first things that y'all said, which is so. Before.
Yeah, that's a Sondheim lyric, by the way. Just keep moving on.
Okay, so before we release y'all back to the court/stage, anything that y'all have coming up that's fun you want to promote? I know, you were just Melissa. You played in London. It just happened. That's right. Okay, because I knew that was already passed. But
yeah, I just did. I played Cadogan Hall.
Cadogan Hall was an unbelievable, beautiful 1,000-seat act.
Couple standing ovations.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. And it was one of her dreams was to play there. And it happened this year, and it was all Sondheim night. So there were some great Sondheim fans. And
so when you do
your vocal coach is saying you're singing better than ever.
You're at the height of your power.
2025, you're crushing it.
I mean, I'm working on new things. I have a couple of new ideas. I do have this Sondheim concert that I can do now, forever. I have a bunch of concerts, like a holiday concert and a film noir, things that have developed over time. They sort of seem a little bit like their themes or something. They're all jazz inflected. And I did have a thought, because I've been working with Barbra Streisand's pianist for 2 years now, Randy Waldman, played with her for 40 years. he put me in a wonderful opportunity at the Montreal Jazz Festival to open for
Jeez.
George
Well, and I saw
Benson.
you got a standing O there
And I
too.
was singing.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I did,
amazing.
actually.
Yeah,
It's pretty
that was
crazy.
cool. She got to
Oh,
play with his band, which they got
Come
amazing
on.
players.
Yeah, so I did what I sing,
with
and
their
But with
instrumentation.
their, like,
Oh,
you know,
that's
vibe.
so cool.
Oh,
So
you
cool.
know, like my Michael Simmons and you know,
and the drum
the
and
Chris Walker on bass,
Yeah.
like the whole thing was, he invented this weird electric bass type of sound, and it's super funky. And you have some of Carlos Santana's kids and
Jeez.
stuff in the band, and it's just like so, it's so heavy. And in rehearsal, I was singing Michel Legrand music, which is like movie songs, just like Barbara Streisand would sing. Actually, some of her music, we used some of her, we adapted some of her charts and music, like The Man I Love, you know,
Yeah.
Gershwin and things. The drummer said to me at rehearsal the night before the festival, he was like, "Do you mind if I funk it up?" And I said, "You funk it up. You do what you do,
Oh, I
and I'll
love
do what I
that.
do, and we'll see what
Yeah.
happens."
that was
And I
magic.
had like my hair everywhere. I didn't wear a bra. You know, it was fun. I had this flowy dress, and I thought, I'm in a jazz festival. And I let them be
Yeah.
them, and I was me, and I spoke
Wow.
French
Jeez.
and English to the audience. And it was like
It was cool. The
super
crowd,
special.
it was George that sold the whole
Oh.
place out. It was massive crowd. And, you know, the crowd were there to see George. They're like, who's this Melissa Errico? She comes out, and by the end of her 6, 7 songs,
Amazing.
they were like,
That is the best
That's
feeling.
amazing.
Is that not
Yeah.
the best feeling as a
yeah, it
performer?
was great. She was going to tour with him again this year, and unfortunately, George came down with an illness. You know, I think
Yeah.
he's early 80s now, so we're sending positive vibes to him. I will give you my 3 things I have coming up. One is my radio show, which goes on every Saturday morning on Sirius XM,
Mhm.
called Holding Court,
Mhm.
which is a little tennis,
Mhm.
little other sports as well. So I do that every Saturday. And if you have the app, you can listen to it at any time, because, you know, a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah,
Saturday
yeah,
morning,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
sleeping in.
Yep.
It's like the prime
Yep.
time slot.
It's
That's
doing
so
well, though.
great.
It's doing well, and I'm happy that they allowed me to do a show that's really
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
talking tennis, because that's pretty unusual to do on national radio. Then we have our induction ceremony for the International Tennis Hall of Fame, of which I'm the president of, late August 21 to 23, where the Bryan
Yeah,
brothers,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
great doubles team who played Davis Cup for me for many years and for the U.S., incredible guys, and
Jeez.
Maria Sharapova
Nice.
going into the Hall of Fame. So that's going to be super cool. And then, of course, the big one, the final major of the year, the U.S. Open right here in our hometown. And those are the long days getting ready for, you know, doing that.
Oh, can I be a jerk and mention something?
Sure.
I'm doing a reading at Guildhall, East Hampton, playing Zelda Fitzgerald
Jeez.
opposite
Saw
Alec
that.
Baldwin. And we're
August
gonna-
16th?
And that's super. Yeah, so in August, like leading
Right
up to the
around,
Open,
right
we
before
have
the
a
So
lot
do you
going
end up
on.
for the
Yeah,
Open?
but,
Do you stay in the?
Con-
You stay at home, or do you have to stay in the city?
I usually stay at home, but I usually keep a room close to the
a
site.
Hollywood thing? Oh, don't say where.
What's the room number?
They actually got us.
407?
Yeah, they got us a hotel
Oh,
close
wow.
to the airport, because
The thing is,
that's where
yeah,
the stadium
Yeah.
is, right by the city
beautiful
field.
part of the
It's a it's
It's a
not.
wild thing.
It's in
Yeah.
Queens. It's not
Yeah.
like that's where I
They-
grew up in Queens.
They
Yeah.
work like all day.
But
you know?
sometimes I'll just crash there for because I'm on till midnight
long
or
match or
1 in the
something
morning
like
and then
that.
back.
Yeah.
But the good news is that when I leave the Open, normally it's at the end of the night session, and I can.
Yeah.
There's no traffic,
Yeah.
so I can make it home, pretty quickly. But it just depends on
yeah.
the turnaround.
home more when he was playing, because if
Yeah.
he didn't win, he'd come home.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
he's there
yeah.
all the time. It's
Yeah,
okay.
but my win-loss record is a lot better.
In the booth.
Well, thank
Guys,
y'all
this
so
was so
much.
fun.
Thank y'all for your time.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
guys.
we loved it.
And y'all got to make sure to make it down to Nashville. You got to come down, guys.
Yeah, we'll come down and visit.
I feel like I gotta hug you both.
Well, thank y'all so much, guys. Y'all have a great rest of the day. Thank
Thanks
y'all.
for having us.
See you guys.
Take care.